Roswell 1947 incident, the undisputed facts. If the recovery was nothing more than a weather balloon, why did the military on July 9th tour the various news media in Roswell retrieving copies of Walter Haut's press release? On July 9, 1947, the military searched radio station KGFL in Roswell, New Mexico, taking everything that related to the crash, including documents that the owner, Frank Joyce, tried to hide. If the object were nothing more than a weather balloon or a Ray-1 target device, why would Colonel Blanchard drive to the crash site? As the commanding officer of the 509th Bomb Group, the only atomic bomb group in the world, in 1947, Blanchard would have had better things to do with his time. If Colonel Blanchard made such an obvious blunder of misidentifying a weather balloon, why would he be promoted to Inspector General of the Air Force, become a 4-star general, and just prior to his death, be nominated to become Air Force Chief of Staff? There were 8 confirmed flights under high security to transport a weather balloon out of Roswell Army Airfield between July 5th and July 8th, 1947. What kind of a weather balloon could scatter wreckage over an area 200 yards wide and 3/4 of a mile long? Pieces of small wreckage Bill Brazel Jr. had managed to collect were confiscated by the military in 1949. Why was the military still monitoring this situation 2 years later? Hadn't everything been explained? Neighbors of Mac Brazel reported that Mac returned to the Foster Ranch after his week-long detention by the military at Roswell Army Airfield, driving a new pickup truck. Shortly thereafter, Mac, who had been dirt poor, suddenly had the money to buy a new house in Tularosa, New Mexico, and a meat locker in Las Cruces, New Mexico. The military checked the crash site for radiation, something not necessary for the recovery of a weather balloon. The Air Force has publicly changed their story 3 times about what crashed near Roswell. First, it was a weather balloon, then a Ray-1 target, and then Project Mogul. The Air Force now claims that the witnesses that saw bodies in 1947 actually saw crash dummies in 1952. Surviving key military personnel tell us that they are still sworn to secrecy regarding the Roswell incident. Secrecy oaths would not have been required for the recovery of a weather balloon. 25 men can be documented as serving at Roswell Army Airfield in 1947. Their names and documented serial numbers were submitted to the Defense Department and the Veterans Administration, and both organizations claim to have no records of these men serving at Roswell Army Airfield. Interviews were conducted with over 500 witnesses who either directly or indirectly were involved with the crash of an extraterrestrial craft with its alien occupants north of Roswell in 1947. Over 100 sworn affidavits were secured from these witnesses. There have been 20 deathbed testimonies by people who witnessed the 1947 event. At the request of Congressman Steve Schiff of New Mexico, the General Accounting Office researched various branches of government regarding the 1947 Roswell incident. The General Accounting Office's report stated in 1994 that government records covering the Roswell Army Airfield activities had been destroyed. The document disposition form does not indicate what organization or person destroyed the records and under what authority. The General Accounting Office's report also indicates that outgoing messages from Roswell Army Airfield were destroyed from June 1947 until December 1949.